All right, let's pull back the curtain on one of the most important, but kind of invisible forces that powers our digital world, the API. It's the secret middleman that makes pretty much everything you do online just work. Let's dive in.
So you've definitely heard this term thrown around, right? In tech news, app updates, everywhere. And if you've ever nodded along thinking, okay, I know it's important, but what does it actually do? Well, you are not alone, and you are in exactly the right place. We're going to clear that up today.
Okay, so the full name is Application Programming Interface, which, let's be honest, is a total mouthful and doesn't really help much. The best way to think about it is like a contract or maybe a translator. It's a very specific set of rules that lets two totally separate pieces of software communicate and share information with each other.
So what is an API really? Let's break this down with a simple idea that's going to make it all click into place.
For just a minute, I want you to forget all the code, all the technical stuff. Just picture a really smart, professional middleman. Their entire job is to take a request from one application, go deliver it to another one, and then bring back the response. That's it. In a nutshell, that is the core job of an API.
And to make this super clear, we're going to use the classic restaurant analogy. Now, there's a reason everybody uses this one. It's because it works perfectly.
This really gets to the heart of it. I mean, can you imagine the chaos if every single customer just wandered into the kitchen to talk to the chef? It would be a disaster. You need an intermediary, a professional, the waiter, who knows exactly how to talk to both you and the kitchen.
We all know this process by heart, right? You tell the waiter what you want, they take that message to the kitchen makes the food, the waiter brings it back to you. This simple four-step flow, this request and delivery, that's a perfect mirror of how an API works.
Okay, so let's translate this. In this story, you, the customer, are the client. That could be your weather app, for example. The waiter, that's the API. It's the messenger carrying your request. The menu is actually really important. That's the documentation. It tells the app exactly what it's allowed to ask for and how to ask for it. And the kitchen? Well, the kitchen is the server. That's the powerful system in the back that has all the data and does all the work.
So, keeping that restaurant idea in your head, let's look at the actual conversation that's happening behind the scenes. It's a really simple, elegant little two-step that we call the request-response cycle.
In any API interaction, there are two key players. First, you've got the client. It sends the request. So your weather app asks, hey, what's the forecast for Chicago? Then you have the server. It gets that request from the Weather Bureau's database, figures out the answer, and sends back the response. It's just a simple two-way digital chat.
Now that request isn't just some vague question. It's really specific. It uses a clear command, a verb, to tell the server what to do. The most common one is a GET request. That's just asking to read data, like loading that weather forecast. But apps can also post new data, like when you submit a comment. They can put to update something, like editing your profile, or they can delete to remove it. These four actions are basically the building blocks for almost anything you do online.
And after the server handles the request, it sends back a status code. You can think of this like a quick little report card from the waiter. A code in the 200s means success, everything's great. A 400-level error, like that famous 404 not found, means you, the client, messed up. You asked for something that just isn't there. And a 500-level error, that means the server had a problem. So to speak, the kitchen's on fire.
But of course, you can't just let anyone ask for anything. That would be a complete security nightmare. So APIs need to check for ID, kind of like a bouncer at a club.
And there are two main forms of ID to know. First is an API key. This identifies the application that's making the request. It's like the app's library card, mostly used to track how much it's being used. But what's more important for you is the authentication token. This identifies the actual user. This is your personal digital passport that proves you are who you say you are and gives you access to your private data. So, one identifies the app, the other identifies you.
So why does any of this matter? Well, because once you start to see this pattern, you realize this middleman, this digital waiter, isn't some obscure tech thing. No, it's the glue that holds our entire digital world together.
You know, maybe the best way to think about the impact of APIs is to think about a USB port. A USB port is a standard, right? It doesn't matter who made your phone or your keyboard. If it has that standard plug, it just works with your computer. APIs do the exact same thing, but for software. They create a standard way for totally different programs to connect and work together no matter who built them. And you use them all the time, every single day. You see that login with Google button? That's an API. You check the weather? API. You search for a flight on a site like Kayak. That's one API calling dozens of other airline APIs all at once. They are the hidden engine behind all modern convenience.
So here's the big takeaway. APIs are way more than just a technical detail. They're the invisible backbone of our interconnected world. They're what allow all these different apps and services to play nice together, creating the seamless and powerful experiences that we honestly just take for granted now.
So I'll leave you with this question. Now that you can see the waiter, the messenger, that USB port connecting everything behind the scenes, what parts of your daily and digital life are you going to start seeing in a whole new light? Thanks for tuning in.